Charlie said, the day Mike Dean openly said he didn't call his mate back to the monitor for a decision was the day I lost my trust in the PGMOL. And do you know what? You know those people who tell us all about removing hate from the game and, you know, preach to the rest of us about it on Sky? What did they do? What did they do when Mike Dean came out and said that he didn't do his job and he didn't send his mate Anthony Taylor to the monitor? What did Sky do? They rewarded him by employing him as a refereeing consultant. That speaks to a lot, in my opinion, because there's no way I'd be bringing in somebody who's admitted not doing their job and lying, but they reward them. The rest of us are held to this standard. But, you know, apparently we don't all have the morals we profess to have. Michael Oliver, Paul Tierney and David Coote, City's MVP, said Cohen. I just hope that this kickstarts a genuine conversation around the referees and their role in the game. Craig, sorry, what does fit for purpose mean? It means fit for the job they're supposed to do. Are they able to fulfill their duties as an organisation the way we would expect them to? Remember, we were supposed to have the semi-automated offside technology in at this point as well, but still needs to be trialled and tested a bit more. Can't mic up referees though. Oh Jesus, no, we couldn't hear what the referees are saying. Heaven forbid. So they can't be interviewed. They don't want to be mic'd up. They don't want to communicate with anybody. And they make shit up. Do you remember the docu one? Both of them coming together going in high. Now I know that wasn't COOTE, by the way. I'm just talking about the audio from that incident. Do you remember it? Both of them going in high as McAllister gets kicked in the chest. And then we had Kyle Walker out praising Michael Oliver for his brave decision. So Rudolph the Red said, the game should always be fair. I'm not a Liverpool fan, but seeing confirmed what we've all known for a long time, how do we solve it, do you think? So my suggestion, Mr. Rudolph, was that we don't have English officials refereeing Premier League games. You know, there's two reasons for what I'm about to say. One, we all think that there are some inherited biases, whether conscious or subconscious. And I'm absolutely open to the fact that it's just human nature. But most importantly, for me, the differential between what you're seeing awarded in the Champions League for handballs and penalties and what's week in and week out in the Premier League, I don't think it benefits anybody that the players have to almost learn two different sets of rules. So for me, I've always been an advocate for the idea of there to be a refereeing centre of excellence where we've got a group of referees, let's say Europe's top 5 leagues, and they rotate around. So 1 month maybe or 1 week they're over in this league and then another one they're over in this league. So they get a more well-rounded refereeing experience, refereeing in different environments with different types of football. The players then get some type of consistency over the level of officiating and the tolerance for a handball or what may be a red card incident. And there's enough money in the game to make that happen. So that's what I personally would like to see with this, is there to be a genuine conversation that maybe we have to look to a centre of excellence or to be centralising the refereeing situation. Because look back to the game for, who was it? Was it Arsenal's handball was against them against Inter? That handball never gets given in the Premier League. Never. And everybody I've seen speaking about it said the same thing. So I think it's incredibly unfair to Arsenal or to Liverpool or to anybody else in European competition that this standard and the tolerance of a foul or a handball changes based off what competition you're playing in. You know, they have made football and what are relatively simple rules very convoluted, unnecessarily. And I've been around the game since I was 7 years of age, 36 years. And right now, as a grown man who watches football religiously, I don't know what a handball is. I don't. I know what I think it is, but I don't know what's going to be interpreted as a handball. I was disgusted when Arsenal conceded that penalty against Inter Milan. Disgusted for them, because it was never a penalty. And every week in the Premier League, that wouldn't get given. But in Europe, it is. So that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see this centralised, what would you call it? School of excellence or centre of excellence for officials. and them to just go around Europe's top 5 leagues alternating. The centre of excellence for referees who don't ref too good. Yeah, Brennan, we could call it the Derek Zoolander Centre for referees that don't referee too good. Maybe Mr. Zoolander can pop in there with a few quid to help it out. So you got your reference. I'm actually quite proud that I got that reference. Joe said a simpler version of your refereeing idea would be to have UEFA themselves supply the refereeing and officiating to England and the Premier League. The other top 5 leagues also have UEFA refereeing. Yeah, absolutely. You know, it was usually, Joe, when I come up with an idea, bro, they are a little bit convoluted. Yeah, they do go a little bit off on tangents and stuff. But yeah, you've simplified it there, and you know what you've said rings true. I would absolutely back calls for something along the lines of what you've said. Stargirl, how are you, my friend? Said, I don't understand why our refs have to be English. Also, VAR should be separated. I agree with your suggestion. I'm glad to hear you're staying. Thank you. So I guess the argument back from this, if you were the Premier League or the FA or the PGMOL, might be, well, if you put all the power for refereeing and the refereeing appointments into UEFA's hands, who's to say that maybe that system doesn't end up being, I don't want to say corrupted because I don't know a better word here, but there might not be holes in that system as well that perhaps are going to annoy or anger people. I just feel like, I hope this is a catalyst for a conversation around referees in the UK or in the Premier League, because I think something needs to be done, something drastic, because they just are not, too many of them are not good enough. And yes, it is a difficult job, but some of these decisions, they're not even 50-50s. They're pretty clear, and we're just not seeing referees go and do their jobs or be told to go and do their jobs. And again, this isn't a Liverpool centric thing. I think this is whatever club you support, you're going to have a referee or two that you know damn well doesn't have your best interests at heart. So we've had over 1,000 votes, and 88% of people in this brief survey feel that the PGMOL is not fit for purpose. So 88% of people that took part in this poll feel the PGMOL are not good enough at their jobs and are not serving the football public well enough. Surely that says something. He's been involved in so many dodgy decisions, and inquiry is needed. Yep. And look, I don't believe in accidents. I don't. And I don't believe in that many coincidences. So I feel a little bit, as a Liverpool fan, I feel a little bit vindicated by some of the anger we felt at some of these decisions. I felt at the time like there was no reason for the referee not to be sent to the monitor for that Odegaard handball. None whatsoever. I didn't like the explanation that I heard on the audio of the VAR as well about the movement of his arm. None of it added up to me. And now I feel like I'm not mad. I'm not imagining it. But what happens from this point, look, everybody deserves fight their case. Everybody deserves a fair hearing. And David COOTE is no different. He deserves to explain his situation, present his evidence, and look, we'll see what happens. It's difficult to speak about this when we don't know the outcome. But I just hope, like I did when the mistake happened with the Diaz goal that wasn't given, I just hope this is used as a springboard to really have a proper conversation about refereeing in the Premier League.